Hey everyone, it's BDevine of course, and welcome to a little Lenormand reading for you all. I'm going to really hope to get this in, hope I can get it in the screen. Okay, so what I want you to do is choose number 1 or number 2 for the readings today. And we will see what's coming up for July, and we'll go through some different aspects of the reading itself. And I'm really not focusing on anything other than messages for July for you guys. So let's get ready. This is for number 1, okay? So I'm going to make sure we can get our cards in the screen. And then it looks like I might be able to... Okay, this is cool. Oh, there we go. We've got plenty of room over here. Sorry, it's hard when you're doing an above, like a thing from above. Alright, so we're doing it this way. We will do a pyramid shape and see how that goes. Alright, and of course we're going to have a look at what, if they're touching a card, that's going to be affecting the reading as well. So patrons just got a their own special reading as well, and it was a little bit of a different spread than this one. So let's see if I can do this. Keep an eye on it. Great. Okay. All right. So let's start here on the bottom. We have the snake. This is the central theme, the heart, which is great. This is what you want. And the lady. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain things as we're going along. And these cards will come into it in a minute. So the snake can mean a few things. All right. Now, if you've been doing Lenormand cards, etc. with me for a long time, then you would know that the snake is really a negative kind of energy, a person. It is usually somebody who, it can also just talk about difficulties of all kinds, okay? Disappointments. It can talk about people who are jealous, especially because you have the heart right next door. It can be people who are supposed to be your friends as well. This is a hard one. People who are supposed to be your friends, sometimes we tell them too many things and then they're just using it against you, right? So this is very, very often described as someone who you consider to be a friend of yours, or maybe they were a friend of yours, or even a lover. And they are not as nice as they appear to be. They perhaps have been working against you in some way for some time, right? Which is a sad thing. Okay, it's what nobody wants to hear that, but it can be there. Sometimes if this is a woman, it's someone who's got very pale skin, someone who kind of looks like Snow White kind of energy, but not always. Okay, this is a rival and a traitor that is within your circle. Now, you may already very well be aware of who this is. This may also just be a little bit of an indication to you that if you're getting a feeling about something, all right, if you're getting a feeling about someone, don't ignore those feelings. Now, this can also be someone who is July. Well, July is the snake's month. Okay, this is the 7th month. Okay, someone born in July. Could also be a Cancer or a Scorpio. Someone who has the Mars aggression as well. Now, so the snake's number is 7, indicating July. So you're going to have to be aware of this person in July. Now, but sitting right next to the heart, it's going to be interesting to see what cards are above. All right. But firstly, because it's sitting around the heart, it can talk about some kind of heartache, or someone who is meddling in your actual relationship as well. Now, we do have a lady on the other side of this, so it could be a lady. I mean, It's such a weird situation, but there are people out there who have nothing better to do than actually send spells and hexes and curses and horrible psychic attacks to people because they're jealous, because they don't have that in their life, or because they used to be with that particular person, or I don't know. But there are people that go out of their way. Believe me, it's out there. And, I don't know why you would bother doing that, because the energy is going to come back to you 10 times over anyway. If you're sending out such negative energy to somebody, it is going to come back to you. But, it happens. All right. So you're just given this guidance right now. If you feel that there's something amiss, there probably is. If you don't feel like you can trust a friend of yours or someone in your circle, then you can't. Okay? It's all there in your face. And it could be affecting your heart, your nervous energy. It could be, you could be feeling all of a sudden very anxious when you're under attack. Okay, I know for myself, if someone is sending negative vibrations towards me, then I will suddenly feel in a bad mood, and that's a sign. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm not having this, because, 5 minutes ago I was quite fine, and now I'm feeling frustrated or agitated about something. No need to be, right? So you've got to catch these things. Remember that there's nothing can harm you. There's really no power that can harm you. It's when we lower ourselves or give into it, or start freaking out about something, that we allow that power to come. So think about that. Okay? The snake can also indicate, on a very positive level, a lot of healing. Maybe because of a bad situation that you had in the past. Okay, so, all right, so we have the heart, we have the lady as well. So the heart indicates relationships. It's all there. Affecting this also is the stalk. Okay, so this brings the positive change. That's a good thing. And a letter. Okay. So when the snake comes up with the stalk, these changes bring solutions. Okay. The ending of difficulty in this situation. Now we have the stalk here, and as I said, it does bring a lot of positive energy and vibration into your sphere, right? The stalk can indicate a change of residence, and it can also be the stalk, as we think of bringing news about a adoption or a baby or a pregnancy or a child, etc. So the stalk can indicate someone who has really long legs, right? So if you wanted to get a description on the snake, it could be a tall person, okay, that is the snake. So personality-wise, the stalk shows adaptability and flexibility. They're very practical. They're just chilled out, okay? So it also can indicate someone with lighter colored eyes as well. And the stalk itself, because we said long legs, it actually indicates on a health, sort of a basis, it indicates legs as well. Now the stalk could also bring additions to the family, right? You might be getting a new animal, or maybe someone's coming to stay with you that you didn't expect. So the stalk and the heart also talks about good intentions, or the next step in a relationship. Okay, the next step in a relationship. The stalk next to the letter is also very positive news. Okay, it could be a proposal or someone recommending you, and maybe it's coming from someone. A female could be recommending you. Someone could be showing you great affection. All right, but if there is a newcomer that may be in your circle, this could indicate who that you're understanding the description of who the person might be. You may be careful. You may want to be careful. All right, let me have a look at the top card. Okay, there's a male card at the top. In these particular Lenormands, there are 2 male cards and 2 female cards as well. Okay, so this one is someone from your past. The other one is facing the other way, so that would be someone that's coming into your future. So someone from your past, someone who is trying to come back into your life perhaps. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of different angles. You're hearing from someone who's had a change of heart, but you don't feel like you can trust them. Okay, there's one situation. You're hearing from someone who you get a funny feeling about, okay, and they're very, very tall, all right, and you just get this feeling of deception. There could be a new person at work. There could be a new boss at work that you don't trust. They've not got your best interests at heart, okay? Or there could be a past situation that involves someone who betrayed you that is blocking your love and your relationship now. It feels like it's blocking, and it may not be an actual attack. It may just be that there's a need to let go of any ties or connections or attachments to someone from your past that no longer, they're just not going to change. It's not going to help you, and it's stopping you from having a very positive or more positive relationship. Okay? Now we want to look at this angle as well. Okay, someone from your past sending you a letter. This is news. Okay, someone writing to you, or something that you have to deal with, and it means a lot to you. Perhaps it may have to do with your mother and father. It may have to do with some kind of family that you haven't heard from in some time. So the message for you, number one, with this particular reading today, is to really, and this is something that's been said I don't know how many times, but it's really talking about trusting your strong instincts, making sure that with everything that you do, that you honor your first feeling about a situation. If it doesn't feel right, or if it's too good to be true, it is. If there's something that doesn't sit right with you, don't waste your time trying to figure out ways that you could get around it somehow. Okay? The other message that I'm receiving for you, number one, is that you are appreciated. Okay? There are people that really appreciate you. And think about how you feel when you're around someone, especially when you leave their company. How do you feel? Because if you're agitated or annoyed or upset when you leave a situation, that tells you a lot about the energy of the person. And you really will have to try to make sure this month for July that you're not falling back into old habits or feeling sorry for people or taking on other people's burdens when you really don't want to. Being there for somebody but you don't really want to be there. You've got to stand strong in who you are. On another level, for some of you, number one, you may receive information about moving to a new house, a new location. And that possibly, maybe it's somewhere close to where you used to live, or somewhere where you always wanted to live. That kind of feeling is also there. But pay attention to the snake. The snake can sometimes take a long time to reveal themselves. And, all of a sudden, the agenda can't be held back any longer. And the person has no choice but to expose themselves. So don't worry. They will expose themselves if they haven't already. And you'll need to move forward with your energy of integrity intact, making sure that you understand that your heart's always in the right spot, no matter what's occurred, no matter what's happened. Okay? And you're moving into a positive change now. So eliminate or cut off anybody that's wearing you down unnecessarily. Okay, so good news for July, but also just beware. That's why I'm making a fuss about it, because it was your first card that came out. So it's very, very important. All right. Remember, no one can use you or hurt you or hex you or curse you unless you give into that energy. Don't do it. Say, I'm just not accepting that, and I rebuke that energy in the name of Jesus Christ immediately. Bang, it's done. Okay? All right. So, that was number 1. All right, so I'm going to get into number 2. And I'm going to be doing some live shows coming up. July schedule. I will try to post this on the community tab here, so you've got an idea of when I'm live, etc., and what's coming up for patrons as well. And also 5 days live I'll be doing on a Facebook group, a closed Facebook group, but you'll be able to buy a ticket and then join in that group for 5 days intensive learning on different types of angels and what they can do, and having attunements, etc., readings, messages, you name it. So that'll be awesome. And then you can always go back into that group and watch those videos again and again. But you'll be live with me, so I'll let you know when those dates are coming up. Okay, number 2. All right, we're going to do your Lenormand cards as well, and I'm going to make 3 piles. Don't worry, I'll try to get this straighter in a second. The way that I've got my setup is weird, of course. Okay, so let me lay this out and then we'll figure it out. All right, 1. Okay, so we're going to do a pyramid style. Oops, okay, I can go over here a little bit. Alright, so these are going to be the bottom of the pyramid. And these are the middle. And this is the top, or the main thing of the reading. So we'll have a look. See what's coming up for you, number 2. And I'm going to start over here. Okay, try to get this in the screen. Alright. Okay, so here we go. Now, this is the way that I'm doing it today. There is really no right or wrong way. But when you're doing cards, you always have to tell them what spread you're doing. And, okay, this is going to be my first card. So you're kind of talking to the cards as you're shuffling, and then they don't get confused. If you're shuffling the cards and you're thinking about great-grandmother Gertha, and you're trying to do a reading for somebody else, you're going to get very confusing answers. All right, but your first card, number 2, is the ship. Okay, so the ship in Lenormand readings are about travel. And back in the day, obviously, people traveled by ship. All right, so it does talk about more than likely long-distance travel, commerce, trade, overseas business, maybe the need to go on a holiday. All right, maybe there's been a situation where you just need to get away. Okay, so the ship in itself, the number 3, usually talks about March, or something that might have occurred in March or begun in March as well. So it talks about seeking adventure, just getting rid of routines, immigration, etc., international travel, transitions. And this card may experience different cultures. You may experience different weather patterns. You may even go through, if you have a business, it may just jump through an international growth. Okay, so exploration and change comes up. It also can bring people towards you, right? So people who have this influence or this kind of personality, the personality of a ship, right, can be worldly. They can have a lot of life experience. They have significant lifestyle differences to others, perhaps. They have darker skin tones sometimes. They sometimes appear to represent someone who might be Mediterranean or Asian or African descent. And usually the ship energy is a male energy as well, just traditionally, okay? It also brings endings, all right? So, because it's connected to the 10 of spades, and that can be an ending energy too. So we're going to see what kind of ship energy is going on here, whether this is a new car, whether this is a travel on a boat somewhere, whether you're flying somewhere, or just needing to go somewhere. Okay, we'll see what's around. Oh dear. Now the snake came up in number 1. And the fox. Okay, so this is directly related with business right now. Okay. So number 2. Okay, there's someone with regards to where you work, your employment, who definitely cannot be trusted. Okay, there's the fox and the snake right next to each other. Oh dear. So the snake next to the ship can be something to do with problems encountered while you might be away, or car problems, leaking stuff around the house. Yeah. It could just be this little bit of weaving energy that you weren't expecting. And also the energy of the fox next to the snake, who is definitely someone that you work with, or are thinking about working with, perhaps, that you need to think again. And this person could possibly be described as a ship person, right? Someone who seems to have it all. Somebody who's who already might have a successful business, or is trying to recruit you into selling Amway or something. I don't know. Maybe you're going to be a salesperson, and they're promising you all these big things. And this is just saying, nothing gets done without it, with just an easy process. I did Mary Kay for years and sold Mary Kay and skincare stuff, etc. And sort of worked for myself doing that. And they promise you a lot. And don't worry, I loved Mary Kay, and I was really good at selling it because people could see my skin, and they wanted to have that skin, whatever. But it was still an awful lot of work. It wasn't easy, and I'm sure it's easier for some people than others. For me, I didn't have the time to put into it, and I guess that's what happens to a lot of people as well. But if someone's promising you something and giving you all these things and just lay out money, don't. Okay, especially if it involves money, don't. Now we're going to have a look at what this all means in relation to these other cards here. But definitely there's some kind of uneasy feeling, or a healing that needs to take place as well right now. Someone is very clever that surrounds you. Yeah, see? Now, the fish in the ship itself is trade energy, which is very, very good energy. But then you have the fish and the snake. It's just be careful, all right? Yeah, the fish in the tower. Okay, so there's some kind of legal complication for someone out there. It involves, issues with money, etc. Oh, what doesn't? But anyway, okay, so you have the fish, which is very abundant, all right? And next to the fish, you have the tower. So sometimes this can also talk about, what's the word? A solid foundation with regards to your business, all right? So as we said, the fish in the ship going together immediately are talking about commerce and trade in general. Self-employment can also be another one here. Freelance work, photography, sales, import, export, consulting, all that sort of stuff. So the fish personality is an entrepreneur. So this is someone who already has an established business, which we talked about, the snake, okay? So you need to be careful here because, this person that's coming across may very well be successful themselves, but you just need to be careful and follow your instincts with it. So it also talks with the tower. It could be talking about a business that's related to education. It could be a business that's related to surveillance or contracting. It could be about hospital related stuff or luxury type of businesses. Again, I'm just getting this feeling that it's too good to be true. Okay, just be careful with those lotteries and those scams. You know, people are on Facebook all the time trying to get you to lure you into a situation in order for you to pay them. There's this one particular Facebook page, and it's like they're trying to sell pups, etc. And there's no comments on any of the pictures or anything, and you can tell that it's just, you know, so you can test it out and you'll see for yourself. They'll say, oh, these wonderful things, and then, okay, I'm not where I said I'm going to be, so you're going to have to pay me, you know, etc. It's like, no, you need to follow your instincts. When something doesn't feel right, it's not. On the other sort of message here, with the fish and the snake, we said there's like disloyalty in business. And then we have the tower. Okay, so the tower is solid, but you've got the tower sitting sadly you've got the tower sitting with the snake and the fox but underneath it. So that could be, in this business there are some pretty negative people. So the tower and the snake is also, it talks about legal stuff, it talks about people going to prison, it talks about corporate corruption. Like, you know, this is higher ups getting in big trouble. And then you've got, executive persons. You've got corporate employees or employers that are foxes, okay? Now, this could also be on a bigger scale. This could be government energy, worldwide governments right now, you know? Let's not go into all of that, but let's just say there can be some snakes in the house, all right, a fox or two. It's not going to last. So this is not a very solid foundation. So let's have a look at the final. Okay. The final card is the dog. Now the dog is what you want to see in a reading, because the dog is talking about loyalty. Okay. So when you have the dog and coming up at the top of the reading, then there are elements that you can trust. Okay, so for example, let's look down this line. Okay, you have the dog and the fish. So you can trust this particular, there's someone that you can trust. So you already know who that is right now. A friend of yours you can trust, maybe in the same line of work as you, maybe at your same work, okay? Maybe you guys are going to be affected together by something that changes within the workspace, okay? It also can indicate that there's like a guardian angel at your workplace or over your shoulder with regards to some work that you want to get into, and the dog can tell you that, you know, you may actually be better off sticking to what you know, or changing your perspective a little bit on how things should or shouldn't be with regards to your own self-employment perhaps. Now the dog with the tower coming up here is, it's again talking about people who are, you might have friends in high places. There might be experts or specialists around you, but also there's an indication of someone that you know in jail, or someone going to jail, maybe a friend of yours, okay? It's just something about confinement here. And it's because of the deviousness of other people that this has happened. Again, you know, truth always comes out. We always figure out what's going on. So we have that. So someone may also send you a message that you don't quite understand. Maybe you'll meet someone that you already know, even if you've no idea what it means. Like, in other words, you know someone, like with my husband, I knew him before. It was just so familiar. Oh, la 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 la, just, you know, talking, like, we'd known each other for years and we were just catching up again. And sometimes it's like it blows your mind, right, when that sort of thing happens. But you may find out, that the person that you thought you didn't know, you went to school with, or, something silly like that. So the overall theme is the ship was your first card. The dog oversees the entire reading, okay? So the dog talks about your own friendships, loyalties, situations that you can rely on. But if you do get a feeling about something, make sure you're listening to it. Right next to you, you have two people who are unruly, okay? One is female, one is male. And, it might not be, when I say that, some people will go, oh, their person's evil. No, they may not be inherently bad or realize even what they're doing is wrong. Okay, but they just have this thing where they've got to go and wreck things, or they've got to go and sabotage, that also may be someone that this ship being someone that is quite a distance away from you, but still having an effect on your life. You will be able to see in July an increase in your finances, but it's through your own self. And this is telling you to focus more on your own self, your own direction, and not be led so easily by what others want you to do. We've all done that. It doesn't get us anywhere, because other people are not the ones that are going to hold your hand and take you to the top. You've really got to do it yourself. And the sooner that happens, the sooner you break ties with things, the better. You may also be receiving some money from the government. It's coming, all right? So it may come around the 19th. This is the 19th card. It may come around the 19th, 18th, 19th of July. There may be another boost, or even before then, but sort of getting mid-month. Just be aware of your instincts. Listen to them. Understand your own magical energy. Understand that you're all capable. You all have abilities. You're learning how to tap into those abilities. Don't think for a moment that you're not psychic, or you're not a medium, or you're not connected, because you always are. You have to just believe it. And we have to believe before we have evidence. And then we get the evidence a lot quicker. A lot of people won't believe unless they have evidence. Well, you'll be waiting, because there's a doubt. There's an expectation of it not happening, so therefore it's a lot harder to happen. Okay? So have an expectation of good things coming forward, that you're going to understand who's who, that you're going to trust your instincts. If something's too good to be true, you're not going to give into it. You're making a stand for yourself. You decide to create a business and stick with it. And it doesn't matter how anyone else is doing their thing, you've got to do your own way. All right? You'll always be happier doing your own thing. Okay, so again, you can go to BDevine online, and I do have a range of readings that you can have for your own personal reading. You can have a phone call with me, or you can do some sessions for spiritual therapy, past life regression, all kinds of everything, all types of healing. And we sort of work out a plan that will suit you, okay? So let me know, BDevineonline.com. All the links are going to be below. Thank you so much for listening. See you guys really, really soon. And until the next time, have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and bye for now.